Hello, welcome back to Primo Calcio, also CalcioFC. I am back with Anthony. He was out last
Hey,
week. The man, the myth, the legend is here to help you all with your Serie A needs, and help you go through some nice painful times, some joyous times if you're Juve. Maybe not for you, but
are they joyous?
not at all, not at all. But the
Hmm.
masses get a little bit jacked.
Yes, they know. Yeah,
Yeah,
they know.
they like
Yeah,
it.
they're
Oh, we'll get into some fun stuff here about the masses, but first off, let's go over some of the blowout games or the big games of last week, this week, and kind of just go from there. Sound
yeah,
good?
sure. Yeah, it sounds like
Okay.
a plan.
So first off, we go to a massive statement game: Inter versus Roma. Um, this was the first game back for Lautaro in a long time, and he starts off scoring on minute one. Just in
Yep.
case anybody thought he was a bad player, in case anybody thinks he's overrated, here you go. He makes all the difference when it matters, and this helped Inter secure what I think was the Scudetto here. And this kind of
He's a
made this was the
top
game.
competitor. He's a top competitor. I don't know what people watch or if people have ever had the experience at a high level in any sport. But what really translates and what resonates with me is when players come through when it matters the most. That's, all these guys have a certain level of skill. All these guys have, whether they have size or speed or whatever, they've all honed their craft over years and years of playing this damn game. But there's still, no matter what, some guys get it done when it matters and some guys don't. That's just a gift you get, and most people don't have it.
That's
Lautaro
Lautaro.
has it.
Yeah, he's not some wildly skilled guy. He's skilled enough, obviously, to be a pro. His level's gonna be higher than most out there, but in comparison to other pros and strikers, like he's not some wildly skilled guy. He just gets it done. He's like a different version of like people Inzaghi. I'm not saying he's as good as Inzaghi, but he just guy gets it done. That's it.
Yep.
That's all. He'll show up when you need him. This is a big game, massive statement against Roma. And Roma is kind of they've been really trailing off recently. Like they were pushing for top four. Now they're really trailing off. Their last game was good, but or the most recent one. But this was another kind of hit back on them. Shahanoglu had a banging goal. Thuram was awesome. Barella was back to actually being creative again. So like I mean, it's a much different game when you have people making runs and you feel comfortable with your team. All right, and a better coach. Let's just go there.
And
But
this was from 2 weeks ago, right?
this is from 2 weeks ago. Yep, and look at I've always said this too. I think we agree. Bastoni is not great, but he looks better when he's with this guy, Acerbi, right?
Yes.
Now Acerbi is definitely past it. I'm not saying
Everyone
he's the
does.
one, but
Yeah.
dude, he's a real center back.
Yeah. He actually can play defense.
Yeah, he can play defense. Dumfries looks good. They finally got him back, and he's been good, especially this most recent week, which we'll cover. Yeah. Anyways, it was just a huge win, and I don't know. I mean, this is now like the lineup that they took very deep last year.
Yeah.
Was this guy's? And they finally have him back. Shahan Logos is finally back. Dumfries is finally back. Martinez and Thuram are finally back. That's a lot of injuries. If Inter didn't have those, they would probably have run away with it. Then again, Napoli too. I mean, do you
Yeah.
think? I mean, both teams had big injuries. Do you think that if
Yeah.
both were pretty fully fit, that it would be a closer Scudetto race, or do you think that Inter
Oh,
would still win it?
absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that Napoli had just a zillion injuries this year, and it really screwed them, especially for some key players.
Yeah,
I mean, they were there were times where their bench was like extremely short. So Inter's been built over a long period of time. They've been adding pieces to it, calling up some good. They actually have a youth program, which Napoli is just kind of building one now. So yeah, no, I think it would have been a much better, much tighter race if Napoli would have not had so many damn injuries. But I mean, Inter got the job done. Great job from Kivu this year, no doubt about it.
yeah. I mean, my prediction was actually a Napoli win. Of course, I was
Same.
estimating that they would have had all their guys, and I still think that it would have been super close. Maybe Napoli would have edged it. Maybe they wouldn't have, but it would have been going down to the wire. It would have been pretty dang intense. And especially since Napoli crashed out of anything European very very early on, they really would have challenged in my opinion because that's where Conte shines. One competition, all your focus, like his very like obsessive preparations, that's when it's really good. So, yeah, but unfortunately, we don't get to see that, which we'll cover next year. So, big statement win here for Inter. And then we follow this up with the second most important one because these are the guys who were trailing and chasing were Milan and Napoli. Napoli was a little bit behind Milan, but both of them needed a win to stay within 2 games of Inter. Obviously, this was at Napoli Stadium, so that was a big win for them. But of course, the dude who just also shows up in big games is Politano. He just pops in with random big goals, just the way he's always been.
There's some guys that are just good club players, and I think what Napoli's on their third coach now, and the guy keeps starting over players who are bigger names than him. I mean, he's a hard worker. He's not the most skilled guy in the world, but he get the job done. It was good. It was a
Yeah,
good game from Politano.
he popped in. He made a difference when it actually came out. But somebody else who I think has been excellent for them, who also came out around that time, has been this Brazilian kid, this Elson Santos. The dude plays hard. He plays hard. He's very vertical. He goes at people. He challenges. He's not afraid. He's been awesome. I think that when they introduced them, it changed the game entirely. Somebody who also looked very good was Spinazzola. That dude should have
Yep,
been playing for the national team. He's had a great
totally,
year. Yes, when he had his
absolutely.
injuries, it took him a couple of games to get back, but he's back and he recovered. That was a guy that we really could have used. He's just a very good player, regardless of the side you put him on. Yeah, no, they looked good. Milan really didn't do too much. They had a couple of dangerous chances there, of course. But no, this was a huge win because this kind of shows, all right, who's going to be the final challenger for the Scudetto? That was going to be Napoli. And then next week or this week kind of broke all that open. So we'll get into that here.
Well, I think you really see the impact of losing Gabia,
Oh, big time. Big
and
time.
you could pretty much start Milan's downfall at that exact moment. Um, and you can blame this, you can blame that, but when you don't have a smart person on your back line, this is what happens.
No, I mean, I couldn't have said it better. I've been a massive proponent of the guy for a long time, especially when he gets playing time. If he plays a game, you're not going to get some wild performance. Once he plays two, three, four in a row, you get a really consistent top level CB over and over again, who's always on it, always watching, always pushing his sound. Now watch, he's gonna come back at some point. His first game's gonna be okay or not so great, and the fans are gonna just absolutely roast the dude, and he's gonna
Yeah,
get shat
exactly.
on. So I mean, it's
Yeah,
the
it
beginning of
happens
the
all
end.
the time,
Yeah.
especially with Italian players. Like Ricci. You haven't seen the guy in how
Yeah.
long now? You know,
Yep. He
it's
plays some games like he played this most recent game. He didn't play this one obviously, but he played the most recent game. He barely gets starting minutes, and when he does, he's playing this crappy center mid role, which he's trying to adapt to, but that's not his role. And the first half of the season, he was excellent at. He was making things happen. Now the past
but
couple
he was
games
playing
where
a
he
lot.
just exactly he doesn't get minutes, so he's going to be average. He doesn't really offer nothing special. He's just there, and it's like,
Yep.
what do you expect? Like this is not a player who's like a remarkable skill player top tier. He's a solid good player. He 100% can fit in any team of any level. But like, what do you expect out of the guy? I don't know. I'm gonna get into that when we get to the next game here
Yeah.
because he started this game and people are giving him a lot of shit, and I think it's
Oh,
it's
yeah. I'm
it's
sure
very
they
very
are. Yeah.
strange. Yeah, but
Yeah. I mean, this it's the IQ level here of the modern fan base.
yeah, there was a play in this game. I don't have it brought up, but people may remember this from last week. Spinazzola does like a nice little cut inside and shoots a really good shot, curved far post. Doesn't go in, but it was a great shot. And he just walks by Fofana. Like he just walks by him. Dude doesn't even try, doesn't even care, and people are gonna say that this guy's had a decent season.
Oh, he's been tragic. I think we've covered plenty of games where we're breaking down goals conceded from Milan, and he's responsible nearly every time. If not directly, he's always putting in a zero effort to get back and help his team out.
Fofana is
I
terrible.
mean, it's the stuff. This is nothing. If people haven't played it at a certain level, or they just don't have the ability to understand, you know, what teamwork is, what a responsibility is to
Oh, he
your,
has none of
you know,
that.
fellow soldiers. This is no. It's
No.
I don't want to go into battle with that guy.
What he does offer is here and there he's had a really good through ball. I didn't think he actually possessed that skill because he can't shoot for shit, and his defensive awareness is terrible. Like he's not a D mid, he's definitely a center mid, but he has delivered some very crafty, creative through balls, and that's it. That's all I've seen on the positive for him this season. If anybody can tell me any more than that, you let me know. But no, you'd be wrong.
I feel like that's an incredibly overrated skill in the modern game since there's so much space. I wouldn't say I think there's a lot of players that can
Yeah,
do
when you
that.
have a actually a blazing fast guy like Leao or quite a quick player like Pulisic to run out of those, you're gonna hit a couple.
Yeah,
Okay, now we get to this week's games. So this week, Roma is pushing to get back into top four. There's
push it real good.
really good battle actually right now going on between Como, Juventus, Roma, and then the outside dark horse is Atalanta, but they just played Juventus, so it's a pretty direct one. So we'll cover that one next year.
Yeah.
Anyways, Daniel Malin is really that's all I want to talk about here. They smoked Pisa 3-0. Pisa's not a good team. However, this dude has come in. He's already, I believe, we went over just before this. Martinez has 16 goals. I think one or two people have 11, and then like six people have 10. They played the whole season. Daniel Malin's played not even half a season because he just came in winter and he already has 10. He's been the best winter signing in Serie A. He's been absolutely awesome and 100%
Yep.
changed the attack. Imagine if you had Dybala with this
I
guy.
know. Oh, it's this is what a good striker looks like, guys.
He
They
actually
put the
works hard.
ball
Like
in the
he's
fucking
head
net.
down, works hard. Like I love it. I actually love watching the player who actually gives a shit. Maybe it's just because we're starved for that these days. But he
Oh,
actually
we
seems
are.
like he cares, which is great. I love seeing it. So um, Pisili has looked good again. Gilardi has been very solid. I like that these two guys are getting minutes because these are guys who we should be looking at for the future of the Nazionale, which is always on my mind.
Yep.
So from Roma, that's what I'm liking so far. Not really much to say for Pisa. Pisa's been pretty dang bad. But
Yeah.
anyways, Roma's making a push. We'll go over the standings later. Let's cover the big games. Okay. Como Inter was huge game. Why? Because Como went up 2-0. So Como goes up 2-0. You think Inter's done. They claw them back before halftime, so it's 2-1. And then that was kind of it. I mean, Como got a late goal to kind of make it look like it was 4-3, but it was 4-2. And once Inter got the tying goal, you just knew it was going to happen. Como outplayed them for the first bit and really looked like the better team early on. But Inter just wanted it more. Inter just
Yeah.
wanted it more. Um,
That's what it comes down to at this level. Really at any level. I mean, it's who's gonna win the little battles for the ball? Who's
mm-hmm.
gonna win the headers? It's all about those 50-50 battles. The small things that lead to victory. And hell yeah, I think that's something that Kivu has really cranked up to 11 this year. I think we mentioned it, months ago. I think it was still the first half of the season where we were saying, Kivu has a much more simple approach tactically. He's
Yes.
not sitting there, with Einstein hair and a box of crayons. He's got the boys out there. They're playing very standard, and he's just letting his players determine the outcomes of the
Yeah.
game.
The players like him, man.
I
Like he's
appreciate
got a
that.
bond. Like
Yeah,
they respect that he was actually a good player. Like he was actually
yeah,
a really good player. Like he also helped with the youth team, so the youth guys know him. Like Esposito knows him. Like this matters because you build a rapport within the club. He knows Inter. Like this guy knows Inter Milan. Like actually knows Inter. He's not like the Euro tutor who people are like, oh, he's a Juve guy. This dude actually knows Inter. And
he's a rotational guy with the square head. Yeah, well, yeah,
yeah, exactly. He's just a bit part player. Like,
yeah,
come on, guys.
yeah.
But yeah, no. Turam, 2 goals. Dumfries is back finally. He's made a massive impact. So last year was the first year I was like, all right, this guy's good because I never liked Dumfries. Last year he was fantastic and a big part of their late Champions League push. And he's finally back, which they've really missed that side because that side sucks. Who's the dude they play over there who's awful? Luis Enrique.
He
That
was, yeah,
guy is
from SI, I
terrible.
think he was something like
Luis
that.
Enrique
Yeah,
sucks. He's been such a disaster all season long. So being able to get Dumfries back has been huge, and Shahanoglu. That's a massive position for them.
yeah,
Like Zielinski tries,
absolutely.
but he's not a Regista D mid. He's just not. Um,
No, I mean,
Again,
I'm a big
good.
fan of converted attacking mids in that position. That seems to be the way.
Varela was very good this game too. He dropped off a couple really classy balls again. So like once again he had runners. So it was nice to see him in back. I don't think it was this game. It was the game I believe prior. Yeah, it was the first game in back after the national team disaster. Um, Kivu takes Bastoni off like mid game, like or not mid game, like after halftime, just so he could get a round of applause. Now I don't like Bastoni. I think he's a bad defender. I don't know him as a guy, so I can't comment on how he is as a guy. But I'll say this. Um, that's a pretty classy gesture because and the fans
Absolutely.
supported him. They brought him through that. Like that's what I want to see in Serie A, rather than just roasting your own people. Because all you're gonna do is just tear your shit down, and we do too much of that.
It's a coach at this level is more of a man manager, and I know that we like to pretend that formations and tactics, and they do matter to a certain degree, but at this level, the guys know what to do. You got a good group of players out there. You got to keep their confidence high. You got to get them ready, make sure they're ready to play coming out of the box. And when the shit hits the fan, you got to know how to dig out of the hole. And I think that's the most important thing. Because you're gonna have bad times. It's a long season. There's
It's gonna
ups and
happen.
downs.
Yeah.
How you bounce back from adversity, how you handle adversity, is everything. And that's a definitely absolutely a classy move.
Super classy move. Inter showed a lot of character these past two games, and even after the disaster that they had last season, where they were going to win everything and then lost everything, and then they're mainly like the chief guys on the Nazionale who were terrible, were all the Inter guys that just
Yeah.
sucked, and so like they held a lot of responsibility for this. They come right back, make a big statement in Serie A. Like that's a lot of mental work from Kivu. That's very underappreciated, and I think he's obviously going to stay next year. I think they're going to be
Oh,
excellent next year because now they've got Kibo a year in. He's taken his licks. He's understood what he was crap at. The team is tight together. They shouldn't sell anybody. They need to improve a couple positions, but that's it. Like 2 to 3
yeah.
guys. That's it. They don't need a lot.
It could have been a sinking ship. Kivu
Yes.
has steadied it and steered it to dry land. He's done a terrific job.
Yep. Yes. I mean, people can say, "Oh, he didn't do anything in Champions League," or it's okay. He was
Who
never
gives
going to
a
do something
shit?
in Champions League. Not this year.
Champions League is like 90% momentum, man. It's such a crapshoot unless you're spending a gazillion dollars a year on players, and even then,
Yeah, and
it's
you
no
like the deepest
guarantee.
bench possible. Exactly. But
Yeah,
yeah,
just build a good team, win your league. The Champions League will come eventually. It's not something you don't build a team for Champions League. I think it's the dumbest thing in the world. You build a team, you dominate your fucking league, and Champions League will come.
I think they are close. I'm very curious to see what they do in summer. I hope, and I'm a Milan fan, but I really don't even like Milan anymore because of how defiled the team has become. It's sad when and Inter is a better representation of Italy
They
now
are.
than Milan is.
They
It's
absolutely
absolutely
are.
pathetic if you know the history, which obviously we do, but for some of the fans out there, but
Well, it's just a matter
I
of being
want them
able
to
to be
succeed for
objective.
Italy. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I would rather nowadays, and in the past, I wouldn't have this mindset because I used to play two Italians and just kind of shit on Italy, whereas our teams did the opposite. So I wouldn't have
Yeah.
like said this in the past. Now, a current day Serie A, I'm cool with them representing Italy on a grand stage, getting one or two more Italians, and really making this team hopefully good, getting a couple quality pieces in from wherever to make them grow. And that's all they need. They need about 3 really good players in. Center back because
Mhm.
a Cherby can't do it anymore. They probably gonna need like a backup, wing back to take over for DeMarco or Dumfries. Their strikers are set, and they probably need somebody who can come in for Shahanoglu if he gets injured because he's too crucial. That's really all you need. The rest are there.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
So
it's every year Marotta adds just a couple pieces. And I know a lot of Inter fans want to see a lot of moves, just like all fans do, because they can get excited. They can do
yeah,
clip vids. They can do masturbatory formations, but you really just need a couple quality people that are going to fit into the locker room well each year to kind of just freshen things up, and that's it. You don't need to
to
bring in eight
bring in a
guys
couple
every
guys from
year.
your youth team, like
Yeah.
integrate them
Yep.
in just like you got Pio, like 1 or 2 a year is great, right? To have one who's a little stronger, one who's maybe kind of subbing on, getting a couple minutes to grow for the future. That's all. That's all. Couple quality
Yep.
pieces, couple youth guys. If you need a stopgap signing, do it. That's it. If there's any great opportunities on like a free transfer, you maybe take advantage, maybe don't. That's really all you need to do when you already have a good system and a good coach. So, a
Yep.
big statement from Inter. They beat a very good Como team who is coming out pretty strong, especially with the lead. But while they are a very interesting product right now, in my opinion, is fuck Como. They have zero
Fuck
Italians, and
Como.
that's the
I
exact
totally agree.
opposite of what I want. Love Nico Paz. Wish he played for my team. He's a like legit trequartista, which is a position that's dead today.
Yeah.
But he's gonna leave, or he may be
Make
loaned out again. So who knows? But
we will see how good of a job Fabregas does when he doesn't have Nico Paz
yeah, we will see.
for an entire season. For
I
an
will
entire
say,
season, because you lose that inspiration, man.
yeah, it's gonna make a big difference. But his team plays hard. They play good. A lot of these guys are. I mean, the thing about Como is they have money, right? But a lot of these guys are absolutely nobodies that they picked up, and they're all playing well. I would love him to. I would love to see this team become actually more Italian and become a representative because they have the money to afford these players. Sometimes they'll bitch and say, "Oh, they're too expensive." You have the money. You're technically the wealthiest team in Italy with your backers. Go buy them, and then get some top players. Make this a real project that actually supports Italy, and we'll see. But
But
for right
where did
now,
they finish
nah,
in the standings last year?
I don't
Sixth?
know. I think they were in top 10 for sure. I don't know where they were last year. Yeah,
I think they were
I can't look it
sixth.
up right now because
Yeah,
I got this on my screen. But if you got your phone out,
yeah.
you can browse it.
No, yeah, they've had I don't believe it's been like some meteoric rise from last year to this year.
No,
Um,
but Champions League push is pretty dang good.
yeah, that's fine.
All right, let's
Done with
move
Como.
on.
Fuck Como.
I'm just glad that they actually lost. Everybody loves them. I can't stand them because
No, they finished 10th last
it's
year.
anti what we
They made a
like.
big jump. They made a big jump.
All right, so Napoli, Parma. Actually, there's one more game we got to get to here. There's one more game that I did not go over here. This is Juve Atalanta. It's actually
Yeah, yeah,
a big game because there's a huge push for the top four here, right? So Atalanta's kind of like
yeah.
the dark horse because they're behind, but they were making a pretty good push. They're looking better and better. And Juve wins with a scrappy goal from Boga. Ball was kind of loose in the box, got his foot on it, and that's all they needed was just one goal. Um, Atlanta played well. Like if you look at this alone, a lot more shots on target, more possession, everything was good. They just couldn't bury. Right? They couldn't bury. They couldn't get the chances. Juve got almost nothing. They have one chance. That's all they needed, and they scored.
Yep.
Um, that's it. I mean, I don't know. It's very
That's how the
unique.
cookie crumbles. It goes that way. So yeah, I mean, when you get your opportunities, you got to put them in the net. Even if you only really get one shot on target all game, you got to put that sucker in, and that's all that really matters. I think Atalanta missed a ton of opportunities here, but hey,
Yeah,
I'll take the
the
win.
first half there was a couple. I think a couple hit at the post and whatnot. They had a ton of great chances and it just wasn't falling from. You kind of knew based on how that was going that this type of game was on the cards. Oftentimes when a team is pretty much dominating, they get a lot like close chances they miss. They can't bury it. You just know it's going to take one thing and set it off the other direction, and that's what happened. So Juve made a big climb here. Um, I
I mean, you've
mean,
seen this game a million times, with a bunch of different, in every league, in every sport, no matter what jersey, you see this game happen a million times. There's one team just bombing the net and they just can't bury, and the other team gets some like dirty goal and they win.
yep,
I love those kind of victories. So that's, to me, that's like the Allegri special. I'll take that all day.
it's a
This
very
wasn't
Allegri game.
exactly. This didn't have the beauty, defensive beauty of an Allegri game, but I'll still take it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens here, but Juve now has moved up to fourth place, which is huge. They're right on Milan now, so they could swap them if Milan loses a game and Juve
It
wins a
doesn't really
game.
matter third or fourth place. I could
No,
care less.
no. All that really matters is whoever gets more points to hold off whoever's in fifth and below, really. But now Juve has
Right.
jumped. They jumped Como. They're in fourth, and Como has dropped down to fifth. So a big shift here. And Atalanta obviously lost points here, so it looks like it's still going to be Juve, Milan, and Como battling for the basically spots 3 through 5. We'll see how it shakes up. I personally would love to, or I guess Roma's in there too, and you never know. So it's those four teams. I really actually want Atalanta to kind of surpass all of them. They won't, but I would love for them to have a little bit of a resurgence. So
Yeah, same. Well, I mean, they've had a big resurgence. I mean, Palladino's,
Paladin's been great,
completely. Yeah, I mean, I forget that Juric. I mean, he almost killed that team, and Palladino's, brought him up from the depths.
100%.
So he's done a terrific job. He's reinforced, his status as a up and coming top coach here.
Yeah.
So I all eyes on Palladino
I
going
mean, just
forward.
look at their team. Though. They got a bunch of good young Italian players. Scalvini's been getting minutes. He has not gotten injured in a long time. He looks actually quite good. Bernasconi's been great. Carnesecchi is behind Donnarumma, the next best keeper. But they're able to bring in Scamacca, Bellanova, Raspadori, and Ahanor. It's great.
Yep,
It's great.
it's awesome.
I mean, 4 out of 5 subs were Italian guys. Most of them young.
Yep,
Youngish. That's good. Like this is good for the game, right? Whereas you
totally.
go contrast that with Udinese, who just had Nicolo Zaniolo,
Right.
which by the way,
Who's looking
he's
good,
been looking
baby?
great.
Yeah, I love me some Zaniolo. That- It's proper douche.
He's a great douche,
He's a
and
great
if he just
douche.
gets some actual minutes and in a team where
Yeah.
like he gets along with, this is very rare. He does not get along with many teams. Then he's a great player. He's had a lot of injuries, so he's not the same as before when he actually had pace and could like drive at people. But he still has skills and he has an absolute cannon. Like so, I think he can just rip shots.
You
All right,
need
let's
you,
do
you
this
need
here.
consistency. Anybody does.
Yeah, he's finally has it. He's played a lot of games
Yeah,
and it looks good.
yeah,
This was a massive game here. So Parma scores in minute 1 against Napoli. Huge game because if Napoli doesn't win, they essentially lose the Scudetto because they go from 2 games out from Inter to 3. They obviously tie this game, which was essentially a loss. First minute of the game, who's the guys here? Juan Jesus and Buongiorno aren't close enough to Strafezza, who it's a nice shot. Maybe it wasn't a lot Milinkovic-Savic could do, but something that I've said all season is I think that he has really struggled to wear the Napoli shirt. He was great on Torino, but he's not as good of a keeper as people think he is. I actually think he's worse than Meret, and I think that Conte's been making a mistake starting him. Not that this was his fault, but just an aside, I think he's been really rough in the Napoli jersey. I don't think he's been good this year. So
Oh, I didn't think he was a great keeper last year. I thought he was pretty good. I didn't understand.
he
Just
looked good
because
for
you're a
Torino.
massive giant, he had some good games. I think that he is not consistent, and I always say consistency is class. I would
That's
totally have
accurate.
been playing Murat over him, uh, without a doubt
You want a
since minute
Scudetto
one.
with Moret. Like what more do
Two of
you
them.
want from the guy? Like
Yeah,
yeah, 2 of
yeah,
them. I mean, what more do you want? Like
yeah,
he's
yeah,
not an amazing keeper. I will not say Moret's been awesome, but he's good enough when you at Scudetto, and you know that.
yep.
You don't know that about Milinkovic Savic. He shouldn't be the starter. I'm
No,
not saying that this is why they lose, but a goal here and there is a big freaking difference.
yeah,
This was mainly on the defenders here, because they were nowhere close. But anyways, you expect a goal in the first minute. Napoli has 90 whole minutes to score 2, right? They should be fine, and they just couldn't get it done. Of course, the comeback goal comes from Scott McTominay, who's absolute class, and when his team needs
yep,
him, he shows up. But you need the team to do something else, and they just didn't. So I mean,
yeah.
not
It's
Napoli worked
it's
hard,
too
tried
many
hard, but
guys returning too late in the season, and guys like Bukama that we saw right through him being he's not a very intelligent player, not a very athletic player, and Milinkovic Savic, who we I think those are two players that have been massive disappointments.
yeah,
At least one of those was entirely predictable in Bukama, but I mean,
they just didn't
it's
have a great mercato in the spots where it
no,
matters. Like De Bruyne is a great player, and that was a good transfer. I think it was a free transfer too, but that's not the most crucial spot on there. Your core is crucial. Your center backs, your center mids, and that's really where when they were down guys, they lost it because their defense has not looked good. Buongiorno has not been good this year, and he was great last
no,
year. When you have an average Buongiorno to below average Buongiorno, your defense can look like shit, and that's what's happening because the other defenders are not good. None of them, and they've lost
no,
Rachmani, and next to Buongiorno is
yeah,
good. That's good. That's it. That's when they're
yeah.
and Rachmani's been out most of the season. Buongiorno's out early in the season. So like you don't
Lukaku's been
have
out
anybody
the
else.
whole season basically. I mean
Yeah,
that
now he's
that
had
was
attitude
to
problems.
me that was such a massive loss.
Yeah,
Lukaku's I mean you can't even compare him in Ireland. It's not even it's a complete
no,
different. They're in different galaxies. You know?
Hoyland has done a very commendable job. He came in, he's got a great amount of goals. He's done great, but if you had him and Lukaku trading time, which was the plan, that would be fantastic, right? That was always the plan, and it just didn't happen, right? If you had Rachmani in here with Jordan for most of the season, you let him way less
Yeah,
goals. I mean, I don't know. And then who was the younger Italian guy that they brought in who
yeah,
he had
Vergara.
one. No, the other guy. He was the defender. He had
Oh,
one
Luca.
one bad game. Who not him?
Oh, the young guy.
Who
Yes,
well he got
Marinucci.
roasted for it and shouldn't be because it's just one shitty game. But he also wasn't good in other games either. Marinucci, but he needs time. So that's a guy who needs time. He wasn't good this season. Vergara got injured and he was looking fantastic. Um,
Yep, Vergara was awesome.
yeah, like
Yeah.
you have him on the other side, and then you have this Alison Santos kid. Like that's pretty dang good. And then whatchamacallit has been injured a lot too. What's the name? He's the Brazilian guy, Devin Neres. I mean, like they have been
Oh yeah,
screwed all
yeah.
season.
Oh, you do. Labaco's out for a long period of the
Yeah,
season. Guiso was out for a long
Anguissa,
period of the season.
Lobotka.
Yeah. I mean, everybody that mattered was out for a long
Yeah,
time, except for Scott McTominay was holding everything
it's
together.
because he's a man.
They could have
Just
been.
because he's a
He
man.
is the fucking man, dude. He
Yeah,
is the fucking
yeah.
man.
He's still a male. It's good.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, anyways, this was everything you. This is their whole season right here, right? There's a one shot in the dark that they challenged for the Scudetto and they must beat Parma and they couldn't do it. They just still didn't have their guys. They had a lot of them back, but they just weren't hitting it. That's Napoli's season. They were almost there. They just couldn't do enough with whatever situation. They just couldn't get there. So they'll probably round out the season in second place or so, and that's it. But it's fine. Um, you think Conte's gonna stay?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to go to the national team.
I don't either.
I think he's going to stay. I think that he was really tempted last year to go back to Juve. I think but I think that life is great in Napoli, and I think he's going to stay again. I think that's where his wife wants to be, and I think he's going to make the choice to stay because I think that the fan base is fantastic there. They truly are.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're crazy, and that's a good thing because I think they're all behind Conte. I think that they understand what happened this season. I think he'd be crazy to leave to take over the national team. Do I want him to go to the national team? Yeah, I think he fixes us immediately. I think he fixes us. I think he changes us around completely. He's going to pick people based on merit and as opposed to just their whatever their
Yeah.
stupid name is. But and as much as I want to see him go to the national team, if I'm Conte, I'm staying put.
I
I mean, he's
I I
not old enough to coach a
probably
national team just yet.
I probably stay at least for this next year, and then
Oh yeah,
you see what's kind of shaking with the national team, and then you can always go in a year from now. He doesn't need a million years to coach the national team. He's not a manager who needs time. He doesn't.
no, no,
Honestly, given too much time, shit may break down, but he doesn't need a lot of time. And honestly, this I think it'd be great if he stays at Napoli because it'd be a very rare third year. He usually is like a 2 year and done at most places besides Juve. So I think it'd be fantastic if he actually stayed, continued building this squad, got some of the crappy pieces out, built a more cohesive roster, got some good names, and that'd be fantastic. So I really want to see them do well, and I want to see them stay. So
yeah, Napoli did kind of what we were saying that what Inter doesn't do. They brought in a lot of players and they didn't need all those players. They just needed to bring in a couple key guys, and I think every team should do that each year. Napoli also doesn't have a proper youth program to really pluck
they
from,
don't.
but I think that's been building. Obviously, I think Mana's been doing a good job with that, even though he had a poor transfer, a
Yeah,
poor
yeah.
mercato
I
this year.
thought it was
I mean,
gonna be
his
decent, but it just ended up not being so.
yeah, it was too much money spent, and I think when you put that many new pieces into a team, it just disjoints them. And then
Yeah.
plus, the tons of injuries too. So, yeah, Mana didn't do a great job. His first season with them was great, and then this one was not so much. But they'll get it right. I think they have good people there. I think that I love ADL.
Yeah, ADL's been
Uh,
good.
I like
Yeah.
I like Mana. I think Mana has a great eye for especially young talents. And I Conte's my favorite manager in the business. So
Well, I mean, what honestly, watch this. Forget if they get Vergara back and they have Santos and they do play with wingers. That's pretty dang brutal. If those guys stay healthy, they do well. And then if with Neres back, like that's a really good
yeah,
winger core, like top notch winger core.
absolutely.
All right, let's move along to an amazing game, absolutely amazing game. Um, I love it. I love it. You love it. We all love it. I
Yeah.
I was laughing most of this game because you think as a Milan fan I'd want them to win. No, 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 no. I consider myself a real Milan fan. This is fake. This is this is the Red Devils. I would love this to crumble and to rebuild Milan. Just for people who don't know our whole take on this. So
I feel the same way about you, guys. So.
exactly the fans, you got what you wanted, guys. You got a nice 4-3-3, which totally exposed these not so great defenders, especially this guy who's looked quite good in a back three, surprisingly, because he's aggressive, and he looks like absolute ass in a back two. He was totally out of position, exposed, going all the way up here, and just I mean, it looked terrible. It looked terrible. Modric can't hold this all down now because he has to cover these two guys rather than having three. It's all bad. Ricci's out of position, playing over here, doing jack nothing. He is a metronomal, a regista. And I will say one thing. Yes, the formation sucks for them, and they should be running a 3-5-2 because Allegri's a smart coach. Leao should not be a striker. The whole point of this formation is to run this guy out wide, put his ass out wide, put Pulisic over here, and put anybody you want in the middle. That's what they needed to do if they're going to run this. Pulisic should be right wing like he was all last year and the year before. Leao should be left wing like he's played most of his career. And they put anybody on for striker. Jimenez, Fulkrug, and Poo. I don't care. But if you're going to run this, you can't run it this way. This is bad. But anyways, no matter what you run, you should lose 3-0.
Yeah, you should still beat Udinese. I mean, you have, you do have. I hate their team. I hate my team, but you should still not lose to Udinese. This is
That's
just a
right.
lack of desire from a team that's completely disjointed.
It's
And
also
I think
dumb
Allegri's done a good
players.
job. Yeah, no, it is. That's kind of inevitable, though. I mean, are there a lot of smart players left?
No, but
I mean, the
here's the
game
thing.
is really hard to
You've
watch
got
these days.
three smart ones right here. Like they're
Yeah,
actually have a brain.
yeah, that's true. Your midfield is smart. Those are
But you
all smart
can't
guys.
cover this up. You can't
No,
cover this up. He's just sitting here alone half the time. Like you got this guy out the comment, they gave him an actual shot at playing. He's not good.
Jesus.
Yeah, come on.
Well,
It's just no good.
Bardasagi got an own goal.
They deflected off him. It wasn't. I mean,
Yeah,
it
I know,
was.
I
Yeah,
know, I know.
but
He's a good player. Actually, I really like that he's been getting playing time. I'm
he's been
surprised
excellent.
Max actually plays him.
Estupinian is so bad, and Bartasagi has been an absolute revelation for the team. You can't deny it. He's also been top class for his year of the national team for the youth one. He's been fantastic, goals, assists, everything. So he's one of their best players. So the kid's got a good future. I hope that they don't bring in somebody who benches him because he needs to play, become the out and out starter, get some minutes, and in about a year or two, he's going to be, in my opinion, one of the top guys there. He's versatile. Can play left center back, left back, or wing back. It's very rare to have a player like that.
Yep.
You got to ride this out. Yeah. One other thing we talked about earlier is Zaniolo. And a point I want to bring up. Something that I've always said about this guy is the second they moved him out to like right wing, it's like you see a lot of his qualities go away. He can do it, but Zaniolo is a trick artista. And something he did a lot this game is shifted inside a ton. And that's when he was deadly. That's when he was creative, crafty. It's when he was getting shots on goal.
Yeah, he's really tricky too. Yeah.
Like that's where he needs to be. And I think that nobody has seen this like since his early Roma days when after he got his injuries. But why would you put a dude like this at right wing when he has two smashed ACLs? That's where you need your most explosive pace. He can still get a job done, but he's deadly when you put him in a place he can be crafty and close to goal. Put this guy needs to be an attacking mid 100%. And he did a
Yep.
lot this game and looked one of the best I've seen him. So, I
Yeah.
don't know.
No,
Something for the
he
national
looked
team.
good last year in that role. The few shots he got when for what was he Atalanta? I
Yeah,
mean,
he was
he
another second
made a
striker
lot of
CF role.
sweet little plays. Yeah. I mean, if he had any sort of consistency last year, you'd see what we saw out of him this year. So, I
Yep.
totally agree.
He's a player who probably should have gotten a call up to the national team because he provides that little extra life, verve, spark, right? Somebody who, if you bring him on late in the game, might change a game, right? So there's other guys that and hopefully he stays good because if he can keep his head on his shoulders, Kid's still got talent. Like he still has a bunch of talent that doesn't just go away. And he's been healthy all year, which is very rare for him. So I'm hoping that
Yeah,
guys like him and Scalvini and Leone, I'm hoping these guys all stay healthy because these are
yeah.
very good names that if they get their stuff back, it could really help the Nazionale. Want to go over the standings here? Let's go to the table. Okay,
Table it up.
here's the table. Inter 75, as you can see, they're 9 points out from Napoli, so Napoli's done. There's 6 games left. There's absolutely no way Inter fumbles 3 games and Napoli goes perfect. There's no way. You think it's done?
Oh yeah, that's done.
Yeah, I do too. I think that was it. And the past 2 weeks
Yeah.
cemented it.
I think it stays just like this. Actually, I don't see even Juventus and Milan fumbling at this point. I think those are some big games.
They do play each other. We'll look through the
Doesn't
calendar,
matter.
but I mean, it doesn't really matter. All that matters is that I don't think these teams are going to fall out of the top four, because you got guys who've been there, done that before. I mean, the coaches. You've got Allegri and Spalletti here, and these are long-term good Serie A coaches. I think I agree. I think they hold here as well. But if you look at the table, Juve is only 3 points off of Milan. They play them, so with a win, they could jump them. I think. Um, Como, 2 points back from Juve, so one game swap. Roma's right in
I
there
mean,
too. This is
who does
close.
Como have left? Who do Como and Roma have left?
We're gonna do a breakdown to and the cast. The last team to talk about was absolute dark horse because they're pretty far back, but they could hit sixth here if Roma has a fumble. They're 4 points. They're 2 games back, which I don't think is that far. They're 2 games back from a European spot. I'd love to at least see them in
I,
Europe. I would love to see Como fall out and Atalanta come in. I would love
I
that,
agree.
but just for our own the benefit of Italy and for Syria, I'd love to see that swap. But
Yeah.
let's look at the remaining matches here. So go here. Okay, Como has Sassuolo at home. Sassuolo's been a bit of a strange team. You never know. They could draw here. It's possible. Inter Cagliari at home. Inter's not losing that one. Napoli Lazio. Napoli should win that.
Oh, Roma
Massive game here.
Atalanta. Massive game.
Yep. Juve Bologna. So tough games here.
Yeah.
Tough games here.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's all yeah.
But
Fourth
Inter's
place is
easy.
still yeah.
But this is all for grabs. Como's got a maybe tricky one against Sassuolo. They're a better team, but Sassuolo's been a strange team this year. And then these 2 games are big. Juve Bologna. Bologna
Yeah.
is been playing pretty well. Roma Atalanta is massive. So if Roma beats
Yeah.
Atalanta, Atalanta has no chance of getting into Europe. If they beat them, they're right back in it.
This
Actually,
is true.
where would that put them? Let's see.
One
So
game behind.
they'd be at 56 and
Or
Roma be
one
at
point behind.
57. Oh man, that's a huge game. I'm really hoping
Yeah.
Atalanta pulls that off. I don't mind if Roma wins. I don't mind them right now, but still, I'm pulling for Atalanta. All
Yeah.
right, let's do the next here. So, all right, we have the Napoli has Cremonese, Roma Bologna, another big game for Roma. That's 2 now.
Yeah, it's a tough schedule there.
Milan Juve.
Yeah, Milan's got some, or Juve's got some tough games too
Yeah,
here. So we got what Bologna and Milan.
yeah. Cagliari,
Yeah,
Atalanta at Cagliari. So
and
maybe
Como de
tricky.
Genoa.
Yeah, Como Genoa. Genoa's been a bit of a surprising team, but I think Como pulls this one off. I think this is the type of
Yeah,
team that Como's not going to struggle with.
nah.
All right, let's see this here. Where else are we at? Then Juve gets Verona at home. I don't think they'll struggle there. Atalanta gets Genoa at home. Como Napoli. Whew. All right, that's good. This is
Yeah,
very good. At Como, but this is good. So Napoli is not winning Scudetto anyway, so I just want them to beat Como to bring their points down. Roma Fiorentina. Fiorentina's been looking better, but Roma should pull that off. Milan Sassuolo. So they have a very similar thing
yeah.
at Sassuolo. We're down to the last 3 weeks here. Milan
Yep.
Atalanta. So this may be a very telling game with a couple weeks left. Who's going to cement their spot? Juve Lecce. Lecce is not very great.
Yeah, Verona.
Napoli
You
Bologna.
never know with Juve, but yeah, Napoli Bologna. That's a tough one too.
Mm-hmm. Parma
Yeah,
Roma. I don't think Roma's going to struggle like Napoli did against Parma. Como Verona. I don't know. Last 2 weeks. Napoli Pisa. No. Como Parma at Como. I don't think that's going to be very hard. Atalanta Bologna is going to be close. And Atalanta's got a lot of tough games.
Roma Lazio.
The Rome Derby. That's a
Yeah,
big
baby.
one. Genoa, Milan, Juve, Fiorentina. I think the two teams should win those games, but this is a big one here. So I think Atalanta may be screwed. I don't think they have a chance. I think after looking
Now
at their schedule, they're done.
they have the toughest schedule.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think they're done. So it's mainly going to be the ones that we talked about already: Como, Roma, Juve, and Milan.
Yep.
And then the last week, Napoli, Udinese at Napoli, Roma, Verona. I think Roma pulls that one off. Milan, Cagliari at home, Inter, Bologna. Don't really care about that one. Then Juve, Torino, the Torino derby. Um, but Torino's not good this year. So I don't think the last week is going to be any surprises. Last week's actually not that hard. However, I do want to see one thing. The people fighting for their life are Cremonese and Lecce. Verona's done. Pisa's done. Cagliari's probably safe. Cremonese and Lecce. So you play those teams. You never know. You might get a fight.
Yeah.
All right. Final takeaways. Inter's done. They wrapped it up. Napoli, you think's going to stay second? I do.
Yeah, and then you got the battle for the toilet bowl between the former giants of Italy.
Yes. If any fan gets jacked up about Milan or Juve qualifying for top four, you need to go and just sit on the toilet for a little bit and just get that out. Okay.
Yeah, I think that our fan bases are just toast.
Yeah, but this is what, in my opinion, the Redbird people want. They want Milan
Yeah.
fans to get jacked up about getting top four, because if they just
Yeah.
get that Champions League cash, they keep the fans happy enough. So there's
Yep.
no revolting, there's no fan backlash. The ultras can just go be, they're little betas or little subs, which they are. The ultras are the freaking worst. They were in for this past like couple games. They were in like flying colors for them. They were like, they said that the ultras were really giving big support. Like, you're gonna support this junk, this trash, and
Yeah, they
it's
did.
not about getting behind the team. It's about like looking at what product your team has produced. It's junk.
It's their identity. They don't if they don't have that, they don't know who they are. So they're clinging on to it. It's
Yeah.
it's it's this whole just idiotic mentality of you support your team no matter what. It's like, no, I'm going to punish my team when they do bad, like a child. And I can't punish them any other way by
Don't
not
show
giving
up.
them my money.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Don't give
right.
them cash, and make a big thing.
Hmm.
I would love to see it. No fans in the stadium, and just lose
Yeah,
cash. And what they should do is put out a bunch of posts saying, players, like social media, players, this is not against you. You're fine. This is against management. That's it. That's all you need to do. And then nobody cares. Nobody thinks that you're not supporting them. These players make
well,
millions. They're okay. They're gonna be fine.
case in points, if you look at where the state Formula One's in right now, they did all this regulation change, and it's an absolute complete shit show with how they're harvesting batteries. We won't get into that, but you know, for years and years, Formula One's been going this direction. Formula One's been complete crap since the turbo
Mm.
hybrids. Max Verstappen single-handedly saved the sport. But what's happening finally this year, and they keep dialing up the rules and dialing up the they're over officiating everything and all this crap. And now finally this year they went too far, and the only reason they realize that is because their subscriptions are falling off. There's only 50% viewership from last year. That's all they care about. The people who are making the decisions, the owners of your club, the people who are running the leagues, all they care about is the bottom line.
Yeah.
Is the money, and that's the only way you can affect change at your club. Is if you say you're not getting my money, if you're not going to uphold to the traditions that I felt made me fall in love with this club. So they can all go fuck themselves. I'm not going to support a team that I don't believe in. I don't care what fucking color they wear. It doesn't mean anything to me if it has nothing behind it.
But you are
F
supporting them.
off.
Here's the thing: you are supporting them the way that you should be, because you're
Yeah.
supporting the actual team, what it means, the history that's there, by saying, I want this crap version out as fast as possible. Because if I give any money, any support to this crap, it's just going to perpetuate. It's going to be this slow decline that you just can't stop, because they're doing enough. And they're doing enough, and they're doing enough. It has to be blown up. This is exactly like the Nazionale, right? Which we just talked about.
Yeah.
Serie A is a microcosm for this, because it bleeds into the Nazionale. What has happened on the grand scale is, and I put this up in my last post here about like the burn it down one. The numbers every 5 years, it's like a 5% drop in the Italian players. And this is since Italy was good in like the 90s and they were hanging on in the early 2000s. Ever since then, it's been happening. This slow decline, but they just keep it going because the teams are making enough cash for certain people, obviously not overall, and they just keep it going, keep perpetuating, keep doing this crap just because it's lining the pockets of a couple of choice people, and that's enough. And they don't give a shit about history, about what's actually hurting the country on the whole, and you end up here. So you end up with Milan and Juve, the two superpowers of Italy, one more for domestic, one more for international, now being reduced to this crap, battling for top four. This is
Yeah.
gross.
And the fans are pleased. And one of the comments I always say to Juve fans now, because I'm done arguing with them. It's
It's
amazing.
fruitless, man. You just gotta
We've
sit
been right
back and
about
know you're
absolutely
right.
everything before it happened, and now there's some reactionary agreement. I mean,
There's
sorry
some
guys, too
now.
little, too
Yeah, there's
late.
some now.
But one of the things I always say is this is the team you guys wanted. We wanted to get. We loved these players. The entire fan base was celebrating the moves Giuntoli made. Everyone was so pumped this year too. Everyone was just completely wanting to shift away from what made Juventus great. And now we're sitting here celebrating the fact that we're in fourth place. This is where we are at as a
This
club.
is the team you wanted. Dude, Milan is
This is
the
the team
same
we
way,
wanted.
man. They built this shit team. I mean, and I'll go in there. There's a different post that I want to make about the whole game and Allegri and the fans. But I mean, it's the same way. This is the team that you guys enjoy. You say I don't care about nationality. Just get whoever's best. And then, Santi Jimenez is awesome. And I honestly didn't think he was going to be as bad as he was. But the price is ridiculous. Oh, and Kunku, oh man, he was so good back when he was in France. And, he's just, having a rough time at Chelsea. But he's a world class player. Okay, this is where you wind up. I'm going to sell Teo Hernandez because he's a problem because he absolutely hates the management and loved Maldini. He's been the best left back we've had in a long time, and then you're gonna sell him because he doesn't like the management. I mean, they bring in Estupinian for 20 mil basically, and he sucks,
Yeah.
and you have to play a kid Bartasagi. Thank God he's been good, but this is the team you guys wanted. Enjoy it, okay?
Yeah.
That's what you deserve.
Everyone's the identity and culture of the club is the most important thing. When you sacrifice that, you're literally just waving around an empty
Yeah,
flag. It doesn't mean anything. This isn't the Milan that I grew up watching with you. This is certainly not the Juve that I grew that
fuck
made
no,
me
man.
a fan of them. They have if I started watching now and I just had to blind pick a team, not knowing anything about the sport, and just was like, okay, what team do I want to follow based on what they represent? I would never pick Juve at this point.
No, no. If I started
They're not
now, no.
Italian. They have no grinta. They don't have a footballing identity. They're a completely vacant, shallow team. And I couldn't care less about this team right now. And that's a fucking shame because I used to love watching this team.
Yeah,
This
it's
team was like exactly what I wanted them to be. That's why I became a fan. I didn't give a
hard
shit
nosed,
about a
gritty,
player.
strong
Yeah,
ass, strong ass defense, but with enough class and attack to when you had to attack, you made it. Dude, it was awesome team. I couldn't stand when freaking Juve would get a lead. Oh fuck, here we go. They're just gonna hold on to it and win it. It was obnoxious,
fucking
but I
love that.
liked it because I liked it even as a fan opposing them, because you just knew they were good at it, and it really helped the national team and everything. That was good to have a rivalry. Now I don't even care. The rivalry's dead because these teams are just shadows of themselves. That's when you know it's
I
bad, guys. Like this rivalry's fucking dead.
It means nothing. There's no rivalry at all, dude. It's all the rivalry ends as soon as the whistle to start the match blows. The rivalry is all the media hype and the fans,
It's just the
with
fans.
with their juvenile tribalism
It's the fans.
in
That's it, man.
on social media and just they're just clinging so hard to some sad identity.
Yeah.
It's like
It's just the
that's who you
fans.
are.
Half these
Yeah, I
players
mean,
haven't even been here long enough, or they have not been in Italy long enough to even understand it, or not even care.
they
I
don't even
mean,
give a
it
shit.
doesn't even matter.
They don't give. I used to love, like you were saying, when we used to watch these old games together when we were younger. I liked that
Back in
Milan
my
was
day.
fancy, was a fancy pants team. I didn't want to. That's not my team, but I respected it, and I liked that they had their own style. I liked watching them in the Champions League go against a English Manchester United
Actually,
playing it
English
the
team, yeah, is
English
awesome.
way. Yeah, I liked that. That's what made this sport interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
it's always been a sport for femboys since the beginning of time. It's gotten 10 times worse now, but I was able to overcome that. Being a hockey guy, that's like shameful to the way these men behave. But it was awesome to see the national pride, even that was
Yeah.
oozing out of the club
That's a very
teams. And
tactical, smart, fun game, and Italy
it used
leans
to
into
be,
that, man.
yeah,
But they lean
yeah.
into like tactics and defense and strategy, and I love that. Now it doesn't even matter.
No, it's the Italian way, and that's why we suck at the national team now. And I think there's been a ton of prominent figures that have said the same. We've lost our footballing identity, and it's
Yeah,
totally true. And that starts here at the club level. And our two clubs are the biggest offenders of it.
one thousand
When in,
percent,
yeah,
one
when
thousand percent.
Inter is the main representative of Italy, we have a problem. And I'm not mad at Inter at all. I totally respect them for the team they
At
built,
least trying.
and they're
Yeah,
the only team they've put a team in the Champions League final twice, and they have by far the most representation on the national team. And you know what? They didn't do a very good job, but at least they're contributing.
that's right.
What are our teams doing? Nothing.
It's funny. It's what I said in the cast that I did solo. I said there's a problem when Inter Milan is the team that's holding up the national team, and you just know when Juve and Milan are bad and when they don't represent Italy anymore, all of a sudden your national team is bad. Go figure. Go figure. It used to be Juve mainly, Milan next. Everybody else spatters in a couple quality players from Roma, from Inter, from wherever. I mean, Parma back in the day was sweet, but I mean, there's just a bunch of stuff going on.
Palermo.
Yeah, Palermo. I mean, there's all this. They would just get a smattering of people from here and there, but the main teams were Juve and then Milan. That's gone. Milan contributed zero to the Nazionale. I thought that was wrong actually. I thought two should have been called, but anyways, zero. And Juve had what Gatti, Locatelli, and Cambiaso. The only one worthy of playing if he's playing well as a starter would be Cambiaso. If he's playing well. That's it. That's what our two teams contributed. That's it.
Yeah. We have 7 Italians on our entire roster, and 3 of them are
The
goalies.
goal. I was just gonna say that goal is there was. I was listening to the Italian football podcast. Those guys are pretty good. They've been saying similar ish, not as hardcore as we are. But
No,
nobody's
they're
as
very
hyped. But yeah.
soft, but yeah, they do a
But
good
they
show,
at
but they're very
least
soft.
don't haven't they never liked the growth of Korea, at least thank God, and they haven't been to that stuff. But anyways, I was listening to them and they were saying if you take out the goalies in Serie A, it's even worse than like the 35% Serie 31% said that I
Yeah,
posted. It's like 20 something percent of players are Italian in Serie A. It's
it's a
even worse if
disgrace.
you eliminate goalies.
It's an
Crazy,
absolute disgrace.
crazy.
Yeah, but
So
the fans have become more international, and that's all by design. And
oh yeah.
they had us right when they want us. They have us literally frothing zombies. We're just buying all the swag, posting
I'm
selfies.
not buying that
Yeah.
damn swag,
I'm not
dude.
buying shit. I've
No
I've
way,
got
dude.
2 jerseys. I've got a Nedved and a Del Piero, and I haven't seen a single damn player that I would give a shit to buy their
Same
jersey
here, dude.
since. Sorry,
I 1000%. If Milan was actually if they were going to actually build back a team, and if they were going to build like a real core again, I would have considered buying a Tonali one. But he's already gone. They sold him and they didn't build a core, so I'm glad I didn't buy
I
one.
wouldn't. I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't wear any of these
No,
toolboxes names on the back of my shirt.
no, dude, they're not worth it. They're not
They,
worth
they
it.
don't exemplify the kind of behavior that would warrant me purchasing a jersey with their name on it.
No, something I'll say. Two teams that I respect right now that I haven't not Italian teams: Bayern Munich
Hmm.
and Barcelona.
Yep, absolutely.
Bayern Munich, I think, started 7 Germans in their last Champions League game. Fuck yeah.
Yep,
7
yep.
Germans.
Fuck yeah,
Barcelona,
absolutely.
very similar to this. I don't care if you guys hate these teams from old or whatever. I don't care.
They don't even know
Those
why they
two
hate the
teams, I
teams.
love what they're doing. If you do that, you will still keep some beauty in the game because you actually get a German team and a Spanish team. That's what I want to see. And I want to see Italy play a role in that. I want to see England be England. I want to see this again. It was so much more beautiful. So that I just got got a little sidetrack, but hey, it's we're still too fresh from the elimination, but
No, I mean this is something. This has been a theme for our
yeah,
podcast since day one. This is why
yeah.
we even started it in the first place. I mean, whatever
Well, when you
if you
see a
want to
team
do
doing it right,
generic
you got to give them
abuse, there's a
applause.
million other options. But yeah, this is not what this is the reason we did the podcast was to have this conversation
And those
and
teams have
and
youth
and to lean
systems.
into it. Yeah, well, Imagine that, and they don't sell them off the second
No,
they become worth like 10 mil.
and they
So
go
why don't you
buy
hold
up.
on to them?
They go buy up their nation's best of those. Like Bayern's known for
Yep,
saying, "Oh, who's the best German in in Germany right now, or in the Bundesliga? I'm gonna go
buy them
buy
up.
him." Okay,
Yep,
cool. Yep, cool. Because we
exactly.
keep our core. But
Yeah,
I think there's actually a rule. I don't know. I think there's a rule in Germany by having so many homegrown players or whatever. But something we'll end it here. We're at a good time, about an hour. But this will lead into what we'll probably talk about next, is because there was a new appointment at the FIGC. I need to do a little more research about it. Once we kind of have our take on that, we'll come back with a post on that
I
and
mean, I already
see
have my take
will
on that.
something change. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Let's
All
give a
right,
little
I'll
time to
save it.
marinate. Let's give a little time to
Yeah,
marinate. All right.
marinate, baby.
Alrighty. Thank you for joining. Forza Calcio.